Can you give us real examples of how you decide on moving an ad from creative test campaign to main campaign? Is it the new ads that are existing? Or are you turning anything off? That's a great question.
Here we have this. So we have, I'll just use this campaign here. So we have basically a cloned using the new Google recommended structure, using the new CAPI import, all the other good stuff. And what we're doing is you'll see that in, like, let's just say this last week or so, I don't have time to keep, changing things. We spent $1,500 on our creative testing, and then we spent 15 grand on our scaling. What we do now is notice that if these two conversion events are the same, these people will be locked in, deduped to their respective ad sets, which means these people cannot bounce between up and down. They have to stay locked into these campaigns. So what we did is if we spend 1090, 1,500, 15,000, we can actually start to do creative testing on here and see the initial results of the product that we're trying to get purchased. When we find that is working, $193 versus $327, these are simply just copied into this campaign, but they are not removed from this campaign. They are simply added to the other campaign
because they are deduping, right?
Yes, which means that you would just stop marketing to 10% of your audience and switch to marketing to 90%. Don't do that. Keep the 10%. But your next step after you've transferred is to introduce new creative into the testing to see, can you beat the result that you just beat? If so, rinse and repeat.
John Moran's dog is back. He's off the couch and he's eating dog food. That's it. What are your top tips for making YouTube advertising platform well through demand gen, having strong video creative? I think we kind of covered this before.
Yeah, I'm 100% anti-demand gen. Here's my question for John Moran's dog. What I would do is I would invest, because I know that I've seen the theme of your questions. I would invest in a third-party platform. I know you're saying, how do we do it without those type of things? My opinion to you is try to get something that allows you to truly analyze demand gen traffic. When you see rates of like 15 and 20% cold and your eCPNV is $8, $10, $12, $15 per click in demand gen when they're new, you'll start thinking differently about demand gen. You'll say, okay, if this is the case typically, I don't want to say, how do I put more money into really hot traffic? How do I feed this better? Or how do I utilize this better? Because in platform demand gen, honestly, just, run it at $100 a day, give it 3 months, and it'll be 500% all day long. Now you might not have a client by then, which is truly what happens to me when I was doing that. I had to learn out the way. If you're like, hey, I'm actually pretty good if I just get those in-app, then just launch it on a max conversions, T ROAS 400%. Let that thing just ride. It will find people to attribute. My opinion is when you're looking at finding people to contribute, your questions will change on demand gen. You're going to say, hey, I see demand gen stealing my inbound non-brand search customers after the first click. How do I stop it? Those will be more of the questions you'll ask. So I think that analyzing the conversion path and truly seeing how much cold traffic of quality is coming from demand gen is much different than, can I get 80% junk shit traffic at 10 cents CPC, but I got the 10 conversions attributed to it regardless of what I spent. Yeah. So cold traffic doesn't mean quality. Cold traffic means I can get to cheap display traffic, but quality is much different. Demand gen has not yet introduced actual quality cold traffic in any one of my tests, even when Google pays for it.
So there's no exceptions to that, really?
Not yet. I have not figured it out yet. It's way too automated. It's Performance Max without search and shopping. That's all it is. Right. We already know what we use Performance Max for.
And it's just a bunch of junk traffic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great for second clicks, but not first.
Would you recommend going over to Meta for something like this? Like he's thinking about YouTube.
Yeah, obviously, if you're thinking, hey, I can get new, strong audiences with demand gen, immediately try Meta first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. There's your answer.
Yep.
All right, John, a.k.a. Google's dad. This is a new,
that dude looks like me.
That's what it's
like. Same name.
Is that? It is.
Oh, my God.
We're like a brother from another mother.
I know. I want to click on his profile, but I can't click on it here. All right, John, who looks like John, Google's daddy. Can you give us real examples of how you decide on moving an ad from creative test campaign to main campaign? Is it the new ads that are existing? Or are you turning anything off? That's a great question.
I think that's a meta question because you said ad set, even though you're Google's daddy. You are me. It's
Google's
weird.
daddy.
Like you say Google, but you have meta strategies. Cool. So check this out. This is what we're doing now.
Get your same smile too.
That's what I thought. He stole my picture. This is weird. I have a picture of me doing that. I was a black shirt, which is great.
It is genuinely available online. Just Google John Moran. All right. Oh, I've got a producer here. Okay,
right.
Here we go.
All right. So here's what I've been doing. These 4 campaigns are 2 campaigns, one with a creative testing and a scaling, and a creative testing and a scaling. The way that this is working now is you do have to have CAPI imports active, and they have to, in my opinion, be first click server side, edge data, which is why you should buy from us. But the way that this works now,
that is your picture, by the way. Now that it's larger on my screen, it totally is you.
It looks like me, but it's not me. I don't think it has different eyebrows.
Is it like AI? I don't know.
That's so close. It's uncanny. All right.
Keep going.
All right. So here we have this. So I'll just use this campaign here. So we have basically a cloned using the new, Google recommended structure, using the new, CAPI import, all the other good stuff. And what we're doing is you'll see that in let's just say this last week or so, I don't have time to keep, changing things. We spent, $1,500 on our creative testing, and then we spent 15 grand on our scaling. What we do now is notice that if these 2 conversion events are the same, these people will be locked in, deduped to their respective ad sets, which means these people cannot bounce between up and down. They have to stay locked into these campaigns. So what we did is if we spend 90-10, or sorry, reverse that, 10-90, 1,500, 15,000, we can actually start to do creative testing on here and see the initial results of the product that we're trying to get purchased. When we find that is working, $193 versus $327, these are simply just copied into this campaign, but they are not removed from this campaign. They are simply added to the other campaign because
they're not deduping, or they are
deduping.
They are deduping, right?
Yes, which means that you would just stop marketing to 10% of your audience and switch to marketing to 90%. Don't do that. Keep the 10%. But your next step after you've transferred is to introduce new creative into the testing to see, can you beat the result that you just beat? If so, rinse and repeat.
Yeah. Interesting.
And so far, it's working well. 445 versus 800. All right, good. 193 versus 327. Okay, good. You see our creative testing is constantly beating our main.
Yeah.
And that's because we are doing creative testing. And what's interesting about this is since switching to this model, we have now a ad spend change of...
Oh, I thought we were in a different ad account, actually. I was like, those CPAs don't seem all that, those NCAC numbers don't seem that great, but now they do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now when you're talking about $404,000 products, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's when we look at and say, okay, 2% change difference using Meta's new strategy and Meta's new recommendations, 16th to the 24th, to just do the 16th to the 24th compared to previous period here. And yeah, we're good. I mean, you see our Thrones are making 50% more sales. Our Vista's making 20% more sales because we started doing our Vista and Throne. This is our new way of doing it. So we actually spent the exact same money, but getting much better results because it's utilizing the CAPI imports that we demand and the structure that Meta demands. So we're leveraging Meta while adding our new spin. So that's how you do creative testing.
That should answer the question. I think it is an AI version of you, by the way. He's got a secondary question. Yeah. If you were to build a women's supplement company around one hero supplement solely based on the results from ads, what would be the top 3 supplements you would choose? This is more of a business question, I think.
Build a women's supplement company around one hero supplement solely based off of the results from ads. What are your top 3 supplements you would choose? Oh, like what type of supplements, I'm guessing? Because I'm asking... Yeah. You're building around one. What 3 would I choose? Okay, so like what 3 supplements would I choose to try to find the hero? Yeah. Cleanse, for sure. Something cleansing is something that people constantly always have a feel of a need for because their diet's shit. Mm-hmm. So that would be number 1. The second thing I would say is sleep, because we're a bunch of stressed out, anxious insomniacs now. So so cleanse, sleep, and then I would look for vitamin D. As we are more recluse inside under fluorescent lighting, that is typically what naturopaths have now been introducing into people's injections more recently. So cleanse, sleep, vitamin D.
There you go. 1, 2, 3. And we've got 2 minutes here before I oversell Qasim Aslam. 33 big money search campaign conversion campaign that went well, got messed up for 2 weeks, and now it spends most money on Sundays, not Mondays, when usually more leads came in. How can I get it to spend more on Mondays, I believe was the question.
When it says it got messed up for 2 weeks, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. So that actually is important for me.
That's kind of important. Maybe we can clarify that. Indergeep Singh says,
one thing I would say, 33 big money. Whenever I see oddities that don't go back, I know this is stupid. Actually, just clone the campaign. It's like rebooting. It works sometimes very well. So take that campaign, copy it, paste it, pause the original ones. And sometimes I swear to God, it will just go right back to normal. I would test that actually first.
Innerdeep says, I have search impressions lost rank 44%, budget almost zero. How do I increase lost rank? The issue is the keyword is sensitive and can't be included on the landing page and the ad copy using DKI to fight that.
That's one of the reasons why if DKI is not necessarily going to force any sort of specific keyword. And so your lost rank of 44% is due to solely your CPC. So depending upon your bidding strategy, I would use a more aggressive CPC. So the reason why you always use a low T ROAS or a high TCPA is to keep my search loss rank down low. Search loss impression share, though, could also be budget. I know budget says 0, but if you would have to get a higher CPC, you would need more budget. And to not get, and it wouldn't be able to spend a higher CPC because it doesn't have any additional budget. So if it's like, I'll give you 10, you get $2. If I give you 100, I can get $6. Now that means that the loss rank is due to eligibility. The eligibility is based on how did you structure the campaign. So bidding strategy and daily budgets are part of your eligibility. Search impression share is not click share. It is how much did I earn based on my eligibility, not what I could have received. So because you're doing a 44% and your budget's too low, I would say it seems like it's more like a CPC issue. Try to switch to a more aggressive bidding strategy.